Hello there guys, it's Thungon here, and we're here today on Slippery Slope by the one and the only Thungon. So without further ado, let's get us started. So teams, once again, start with a nice little drop into the water pool, and from here, they'll be given the option to enter these two little chests, which are both identical. In these, you'll find an iron sword, a bow, a stack of arrows, a stack of torches, and a mushroom stew. So these are kind of like your traditional gear, the bow giving early game pressure, with the torches being used to light up to prevent the spawn being a big issue later on, so teams will be able to escape spawn if they die when it's darkness. As well as this, there are a bunch of leather, bunch of beds, a few clocks, a few oak saplings, and a poppy. Whether these will see as much use is yet to see, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the beds and the leather come into play, but the clocks and the oak saplings, I'd be more surprised. Now over here, in this cheeky little chest, there are a stack and a half of arrows. They're quite useful if teams are low on arrows, but we'll have to see whether teams opt to go for those because they're a bit out of the way. Furthermore, in these two chests we want more of the traditional kind of bow sword combo, which is seen a lot throughout this map, and I'll kind of point those out. As well as this. This is quite an interesting chest. I don't know if it will be used. It has quite a few possible uses with all the different things that there are in here. Ladders, rails, mine carts. So it'll be interesting to see how players go about those. Furthermore, if you move on up, there is a pre-made cannon with a bunch of TNT, some blocks which could definitely be used, some food. So it'd be interesting to see if players decide to cannon here or move the cannon elsewhere. As well as in this nice little house. If a house in a tree is a tree house, wouldn't a tree in a house be a house tree? So in here we find 16 gravel, 16 sand, and 32 ladders, as well as a bunch of random cobwebs and torches. So there's possible uses with the gravity blocks. Sand and gravel can be used to drop down from a large height. So in here we once again have our kind of traditional supply chest. Furthermore, we have another one there, and if players go up here into this little cabin, then there are many rewards to be found. So there is a power 2 bow, a Bane of Arthropods free sword, a protection 2 chain helmet, a golden boot with feather fall in one, a gold helmet and leather pants, as well as once again a kind of larger supply chest with double the amount, as well as some golden apples and some more TNT. So teams have a lot of options there. If teams decide to go up to the top here, they'll be rewarded with 16 snow, 8 pumpkins, 12 bones, and 3 spawn wolf eggs. So if teams wish to grab some wolves, this is the place to go. However, it is surrounded by TNT, so it makes it an easy cannon target. Now, here comes the bit of the ravine, almost, as teams have to cross this. They may go above, they may go around here, or they may just go straight down. There are many different ways to tackle this, and it'll be anyone's guess to see what our teams will take. However, if they do decide to go down, they will be rewarded with iron blocks, but they are protected by multiple mobs, and if they get the other iron blocks, they can also venture down to the diamond blocks, as well as the emerald blocks. A key sign of where spawners are for Thungon's maps are the mossy cobblestone blocks. They mark off most of the spawners, if not all, and yeah, cheeky cave spider, which makes this a big problem. It seems there's 2 cave spider spawners. It's not too surprising. By the time you get down here, there's at least about 3 cave spiders, as you have to mine the iron first, which are very close. They're close enough to activate the spawners, so they're not the easiest of blocks to collect, but they are very rewarding, as I'll show you the use for the emerald blocks later on. Now, if teams leave the diamonds behind, they can venture over to this gold block, and underneath this gold block there is redstone repeaters, dispenser, stone pickaxe, enchantment table, and more redstone repeaters. So put that down, throw that off. Now down here, the second one off the map, there is another power 2 bow with 3 stacks of arrows. So it's very close to the third wall, so it's quite a key point. This power 2 along with the other power 2 can offer a lot of early game kind of damage, since teams may not be able to get their armor without getting past you. If you get down here quick enough, you can stop teams from getting the iron and diamonds needed to kind of survive the power 2 kind of attacks. So now I've kind of gone through the... Oh, I missed out this one house. If we go in here, then you can see there's more TNT, redstone torches, as well as blast protection. So it'd be cool to see these used for the cannoneers. And there's also an anvil, which could be used for repairing. Now we've kind of gone through the main supplies, and we're going to go now back to the first wall, which is right near the start. So where you find the mine carts and ladders, if teams decide to go down here, then they will make their way towards the first wall, which is quite a tricky one to get to. Over here there is... Oh, I went too far. Over here there is a wooden pick with fortune 3. If there's any use for that, I'll be very impressed if a team finds a use for that. That is kind of useful, as it's a wooden pick, and yeah, I don't know what teams could aim to get with that, but if teams get to use it, I'll be very impressed. Now down here there's a bunch of ores, but with the darkness around it, there's quite often a fair amount of mobs around. There's more spawn skeletons, golden helmet, chain helmet, and an oak sapling. So teams could go for those if they want the extra armor. However, the main goal of this kind of ravine area mine is to get across to here. Now if teams make it across here by hook or by crook, then they have entered the start of the first wall. Now this is not an easy wall by any stretch, mainly due to this. This is a zombie pigman spawner. But no, these zombie pigmans can't just be avoided. These are pre-aggroed. So there's no way to just walk past them. You can't aggro them against the enemy team, because they are already annoyed at you and they will not stop. Zombie pigmen are by far the most scary mob if they are aggroed, and to think it comes so early on, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of deaths around this area. Zombie pigmen are a nuisance. They are so strong, especially with like the somewhat lacked armor in this map. You know, there's leather available and there's iron and diamond, but the diamond and iron may be used elsewhere. However, if teams get past those, they travel further on and they go round this kind of windy path, treated with all the water. The water is quite helpful to get down. However, just like Overlook, it makes it a pain to get out. Now if teams get all the way through, they will get to the wall box through break-in. And here's green wall. So now teams can have their one nice path downwards, and there's a bunch of other zombie and skeleton spawners to make it tricky for this return journey. I'll quickly show you. We've got a zombie spawner here, and they quite often come with, I think they have some enchantment potion effects on them, so they're not as if it wasn't tricky enough anyway. You then have to deal with these zombies which are potentially doing more damage or taking more damage. So now teams have to make their way out fighting against these awfully difficult currents, and if they make it out, then they have secured the first wall. Now moving on to the second wall. If we go to the cabin where we found our first power 2 bow, then teams can either choose to go through this way, they can go down this ladder to head towards the first wall, the second wall I mean, and or they can come through where we started from the kind of treehouse thing towards here. And this is called the lapis mine, famous for its lapis. And before you get to the second wall, if you get past this cheeky little zombie spawner, which is very annoying actually because of what is down here, there is a villager spawner, and this villager is very useful. This villager spawns. And if he survives the zombie attacks, he will trade you beautiful trades. You get a flame bow, a power bow, and You can also trade lapis for arrows, but the main use is those emerald blocks that we saw in the mines being traded for power and flame bows with very low durability. So it'll be interesting to see if teams value those low durability bows over certain other tools in the game. Now if we look in this chest, there's some more TNT supplies which may be used, but we'll have to see still. It'd be interesting to see what cannons people could potentially come up with on this map. As I remember in RMCT there was a lot of cannon fire being seen, so it is one to look out for in the cannon side of things, as there's a lot of key targets, and since it's quite a fast-paced map, anything to slow down your team, the enemy team, is very, very appreciated. Now teams have two options here. They can either go straight down towards the wall, or they can make a small detour for the benefit of... Ooh, I have to break this. There's 3 diamond picks. So these are very useful. They break through the blocks so much faster than the stone picks you'll most likely be seeing used. And if teams make it the whole way through a very easy to PvP wall, then they will be rewarded with the one, the only cyan wall. So teams don't have to make their way out, or by using any sort of kind of bypass, not bypass, pass around. No bypasses allowed. Then they will have that wall successfully completed. Then on to the third and final wall. It is after the bridge, and if teams get here, then they are treated to a bunch of ice with skeleton spawners to try and hold them back. However, if they get past those, they can make their way down with a small few drops. And in here, there's a respiration, don't drown, a bunch of helmets with respiration and protection. However, the protection won't save you this drop. Teams have to come up with a way to get down here and back up safe and sound. But if they do, they are treated with red wool. However, there are other ways to go about this, so it'll be interesting to see if teams go for the up and down, or maybe a journey over there. So we'll have to see what happens. However, on the way up, there is an iron block, as well as a knockback free diamond chest plate protection free as well. So these are very valuable resources if teams can take the time out to get these. However, if there's any enemy pressure, this wall is horrible. It is one of the nastiest walls if there's any enemy pressure, because trying to make your way back up is impossible if you're pillaring, if you're getting up in water. Any one shot will send you out of, like the one wide block or the water stream. So progress on this wall can be very, very slow at times if there is a good lockdown being used. Now, once teams have got all 3 walls, they have to head back right to the start. If I quickly skip there to the monument, which is literally at the start, and if they place their red wall, cyan wall, green wall, they will have won this map. Now, there are going to be once again 2 matches being played on this. We have a match between your glorious bastards and 404 Wall Not Found, as well as a match between purple butterfly nipples and bread brigade. Always a fun one to say. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy those matches and be sure to tune in. This has been Tonko, I hope you had fun. Peace.